Good evening, everyone. This is your host for the show, Deepak Dharanani, aka 12th Man D, bringing to you the 12th Man and Powai Live coverage of the IPL 2020. We're at the end of the first week, and we've witnessed some really nail biting finishing games, but some very damn squibs too. But there are no damn squibs here. On our show, Powai Live, our partners who are broadcasting the show, brings to you a chance to win an IPL food hamper. All you need to do is tune into our show, throw some questions, some feedback, your comments on our show live while you're watching it on Facebook Live. And at the end of the show, we will pick up the best comment or the best feedback or the best question, and you will win the IPL food hamper from Powai Live. Not only that, you also get invited onto next Saturday's show with myself and my two other fellow 12th man experts, MP Tinks, 12th man Tinks and 12th man Mahesh, or MP. Well, let's get into action straight away. To start with, the week that was, the first week of the just ended IPL. But before I get into that, let me bring on the experts. From Kolkata, 12th man MP, and from Mumbai, 12th man Tinks. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hello, everybody.
Hi,
All
guys.
good? Excellent. Very quickly, in one word, hot or cold, how would you describe the first week of IPL? Mahesh,
Am I allowed 2 words?
one word, hot or cold?
Hurt hot.
Sorry, what?
Hurt hot.
Hurt, hot.
Hurt. Yeah.
Hurt because we lost, KKR lost the game.
Yeah. Hot, I would say pretty hot. Yeah. It was quite interesting. We even had a tied match. We'll talk about it as it goes on. But yeah, for me, it's hot.
Tinku, hot or cold?
Definitely hot. Cricket means hot. IPL means super hot. So fantastic.
I thought it was lukewarm, purely because I don't think cricketing standards were that high. But then I guess it's just the first week. So let's
very second game we got a super over here. What else? What else can get better?
But then we saw the likes of Kohli dropping catches and all the kind of things that you normally don't get to see. So from pure cricketing action, I think it was a very lukewarm week. We've seen better, and I'm dead sure it's only going to get better from here on. You guys need to put your phone on. All right. Taking this further, let's get into what happened last week and hear it from you guys game by game. Mahesh, on the first game, what are your thoughts?
It was like a good comeback by Chennai Super Kings taking Mumbai Indians. The finals they had last year.
Let me throw this at Tinku because he supported Chennai Super Kings, very unlike him to not support Mumbai. And Chennai Super Kings won that. Tinku, your thoughts on the first game first?
Well, I always knew Mumbai are slow starters. So that's why my heart said Mumbai, but my brain said CSK. And my cricketing brain won that day. So it was CSK. Mumbai slow starters. They choked. They could have scored much more, but they scored less. And CSK chased it easily. The older lot, Fab and Raidu, did the job for them. So, but Mumbai did well in the next game. So the start was bad as usual.
Like we wrote in our review, there was no faffing around from Chennai on that particular day.
That's right.
It was a hot game from Chennai that day. Mahesh, any special insights on that game?
I would say that this was a warm-up, and it gave a good warm-up to the IPL as a tournament. We could see some good batting, some good scores. We were expecting the pitches to be like on a slow scoring round, and 160 plus is a very decent score for a 2020 game. So I was quite happy with the first match, the way it went. And of course, Chennai, kind of revenging the finals of the last season.
They pulled it back at the last minute. The game seesawed and finally went Chennai's way.
True.
Game 2 was exciting as hell. Mahesh, on game 2.
Yeah, game 2. That's the reason, when you ask me.
Game of the week, I would say.
The game of the week, easily. Punjab really impressed me. But the super over, I mean, Rabada just took it away from them. It was just like, like it's just about to take the slip, Bolton, and the slip between the cup and the slip and the lips. That's exactly happened with Kings 11. And Rabada was the reason behind it. He bowled so well.
Brilliant. True.
Well, we wanted Delhi to win, but the umpire helped them too. That one extra,
That
That is
one extra run
something.
really cost them the
Yeah.
game, and it was a super over, and Rabada was too good. Yeah.
But I mean, I think we've heard enough about the umpire, but it shouldn't be so harsh because we've all played enough cricket to know these things happen. Uh, it happens to the best, right? So Nitin Menon, one mistake cost Punjab the game, of course.
Yeah, it costed them the game. How can we not talk about it or let it go so easily? It costed them the game.
I mean,
Well,
fast forward to yesterday's game, and we saw what the mistake that Dhoni made, right? Prithvi Shaw got behind, no appeal from the bowler, no appeal from the umpire, from the keeper. The umpire didn't react, and Prithvi took the game away. So, you would never expect Dhoni to lose that opportunity of, appealing on the right moment. But it happened. So, crazily unfortunate for Punjab what happened with them with the umpire because it was their game. They won in real time. Their game
well,
would have won it.
for that
They would
game,
not have won the super over had it not been for that. But that is cricket.
I'll say a very famous dialogue of Sidhu for that game. His dialogue was "Thok de gilli, chak de fatte, naap de killi, raat nu Jalandhar, savere Dilli." That's how the game went.
That is true. That's true. But if I'm not mistaken,
It was Punjab, Delhi. Ultimately, Delhi took it. So savere Delhi, savere
Niku,
Dilli.
it starts with Chak de Fatte. You started with the second line. Start with Chak de Fatte, Kar de Gilli. Sham nu jo-
Thok
Jalandhar,
de
savere
gilli, chak de fatte, naap de killi, raat nu Jalandhar, savere Dilli. That's the way it is.
Well, from Sidhuisms, we will now go to Tinkuisms from here on. The game after that was Sunrisers Hyderabad versus RCB. RCB, Tinku, thoughts on that game?
Pleasantly surprised everyone with a win because it was a change for them. So they've again been very slow starters and they've been in the bottom always. So it was a good start. It was an all-round performance by their team. Again, a decent score, and again, SR had everything. They were cruising and they messed up in the end. They were chokers in the end, but got a smile on a lot of Kohli fans. They wanted Kohli to win. A lot of people are wanting Kohli to win the cup, and they won the first game. But the second game again was a dud. So happy with the first game result.
Mahesh, your thoughts?
It seems like Kohli has a fantastic female fan following, and the younger lot actually goes with Kohli. When Kohli wins, so it's like a big thing for it brings a lot of smiles to a lot of people. I said girls, Deepu. I did not use the word wife. I'm not getting there, okay? I'm socially responsible enough to do what I'm trying to do. I hope you're getting what I'm saying.
But yeah, I think Kohli resonates with everyone as captain of Team India. I think which is why everyone looks up to him and feels for him across the board. I think whether you like RCB or not, Kohli has a special place in everyone's heart because he's captain Team India. He shows the same passion on the field for India. And you have to give it out to him. He plays every game with the same amount of vigor. But you know what I loved about that game was the way Kohli was introduced before the game. I'll play the video on my phone and I'll put it up here on my screen for you guys to see it. RCB will win IPL finally. RCB will win IPL finally. Kohli is brilliant. Kohli consistently. Kohli. Kohli. How can this just fly? Kohli. What a play. Kohli. Absolutely brilliant. Kohli. That's the captain. Kohli. 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 I mean, if this doesn't get you going, then what does?
Yeah, that's right.
Phenomenal. Excellent.
Phenomenal.
Sunrisers Hyderabad was a bit disappointing in that game. Rashid Khan not bowling very well. Warner not. That was the only plus that they had in that game.
But we
Even
cannot
Manish Pandey.
finish
Even
talking
Manish
about
Pandey
this
was.
match.
Sorry.
So we cannot finish talking about that match without mentioning AB de Villiers.
Undoubtedly, I was going to come to that.
Batsman. I mean, I just can't get over, like, how can players like him retire? Physical fitness, technique, playmanship, team spirit. He scores everywhere. AB de Villiers is
I mean, yeah, you
is
really
the
want
biggest
to retire to
RCB.
But the guy who failed in both the RCB games is the guy who's touted to be the next AB de Villiers, Josh Philippe. No signs yet, but maybe too early. Young kid, lot of pressure. IPL is probably bigger pressure than playing for your country at times because there are so many more people and expectations of Indian cricket fans for their franchise is a little too surreal for people to handle. Well, moving on, we go on to the next game, which was
Rajasthan Royals.
Rajasthan Royals versus Chennai. Mahesh, thoughts?
Rajasthan Royal was a surprise. Like Chennai coming after a victory, I thought their confidence level would have been so high and they would be like on top of it. But there again, in that match, I felt there were a lot of mistakes being done. Like Dhoni coming down the order did surprise me. I mean, coming and hitting 3 sixes in a row doesn't solve that. I mean, you didn't win the match for the team. I mean, they did score 200, but it wasn't good enough. I think there were some errors, and probably they gave away too many runs. 216 Rajasthan, like, yeah, too many runs. None of them performed. None of the bowlers performed.
A complete off day at the office.
Correct. We'll give it to Rajasthan. I think, yeah, Rajasthan deserved it.
Tinku, your thoughts?
I think the last over from Nigiri, where he gave away 30 runs, that was the difference. With that, the morale was down of CSK. They were never really there. They never really fired. They never really looked. I think they thought they've lost the game from the beginning. They didn't show the intent. The intent was missing. Like he said, like Mahesh said, Dhoni coming down the order and playing out a few balls, and then last over when the game is all over, hitting 3 6. That was of no use whatsoever. So the last over really dented their confidence.
Full credit to Jofra Archer for taking those runs off Nigiri in the last over. I mean, walking into bat and 4 sixes in 1 over, phenomenal stuff. Jofra Archer is
player to watch out. Yeah.
League of his own. But to be honest, I would like to spare a thought for Dhoni because in his post-match interview, he very categorically stated that second game in the tournament, this is when I want to really try out all my combinations, send in a Karan earlier, send in a Jadhav earlier, and get a feel of what other combinations we can try out before we really get into the second half of the tournament where things start heating up. So from that point of view, I think he was okay, but he probably needs to take on more responsibility. We have our viewer from Philippines, Anand Mehtani, who says CSK has aged. Well, undoubtedly so. In the absence of, again, old-timers, Raina and Harbhajan, with a few youngsters in their side, the team overall looks a little jagged and old. With Watson, with Murli Vijay, Dhoni, the likes. And misfortune has struck them. Raidu's been out of the last couple of games with an injury. So the only guy who actually batted very well in game 1, missed out on game 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Well,
But coming to that game, Dibu,
yeah.
Again, a 32 ball, 74 runs scored by Sanju Samson. He was the one who actually, the man of the match, who took away the match. I mean, and in fact, I was just reading the stats this week. He's the guy who's hit the maximum sixes. He's hitting 9 sixes so far.
So, you know what? Remind me, once we finish these reviews, let's do a discussion on the wicketkeeper batsman in this tournament because we need to find we are yet to find a replacement for Dhoni in the limited overs version of the game. So we'll quickly move on to the next games and we'll come back to this discussion on the wicket keepers. Our viewers, in the meantime, do send in your thoughts who you think will be a suitable replacement for MS Dhoni in the shorter versions of the game, in the 50 over and the 20 over game. Post this game, we moved to Abu Dhabi, where KKR played their first game versus Mumbai Indians. And I see that smile coming back on Tinku's face. Tinku, I'll let you have a go. You earned it.
I always said it will be Mumbai's game and we'll have the Rosgulla that night. And we actually did. It was hitman show all the way. The whole of Mumbai team performed well, and somehow KKR was missing the spike. Like they just did not perform. They didn't perform to their potential. Maybe the score 195 was a bit too much. They were over dependent on Narayan giving them a good start and Russell hitting in the end, but nobody fired. The bowlers were too good. Every bowler from Mumbai bowled really well that day. And Bumrah, who was Bumrah in the first game, he came back really, very well. And he was at his best, bowling good Yorkers. And nothing happened. Nothing. KKR, like again, was a no-show. Absolutely no-show. Surprisingly.
Too much dependent on Russell?
Too much dependence on Russell. Too much.
I wouldn't like
Mahesh,
to
your
comment
thoughts?
on the match. I mean, it was so close to my heart, and I expected some real cricket out of the KKR. I mean, it seemed to be a night when none of the stars shined for KKR. It was a
Indeed.
letdown. It was a letdown. But we got to forget that day and we got to start fresh. And today is the day. I hope we come back and all our stars shine. I'm sure somebody needs to shine today. It just can't be like what do you call that night without moon? क्या रात बोलते हैं उसको दीपक?
Starless night. Amavas ki raat.
Amavas ki raat. It shouldn't be one of those Amavas nights, yeah. We need a starry night.
Today Shubman Gill
We have
for the kill.
We have
I was-
Delna Sagar with us, who says, do you think that Nikhil Nayak, who was initially an opener, playing at number 7 is a bad choice? Guys, your comments. Do you think Nikhil Nayak is a wasted batsman at number 7?
I haven't seen him actually perform, Deepak. To be very honest, yeah, number 7 at like in T20 is a very important position because either you're a finisher or you're coming to like peak and make the score reach to a point where it becomes very competitive. And he hasn't performed so far. So yes, I would agree with the lady.
Nikhil Nayak, with all due respect, is giving Saurabh Tiwari a run for his money in being the most all-round player in this tournament. But if he can pull out a few tricks from his bag and play an innings like Saurabh Tiwari did for Mumbai, then I think he might just cement his place in that middle order.
Yeah, exactly. He has to earn the place. He hasn't earned it yet.
No freebies for nobody.
True.
Yep.
We have Omkar Walhekar who says, what do you think about KKR implementing changes in their lineup? As we can see, there are a lot of new players.
I don't think there will be too many chops and changes in this game. Because for the first 2 or 3 games, most of the teams don't really change too much. They'll
But what
continue with
Omkar
the
is saying is that the team composition by large is different from what it was in the previous years. So do you see that a reason for KKR dipping so early in the tournament?
No, Deepu, I don't think so. There would be any changes here now because it was too early. First match, everything just didn't seem to click. So probably, they would go back and their strategist and everybody must have worked out what actually went wrong. But I don't personally feel that anything was wrong with the team.
I personally feel, Omkar, might be wrong, but with all due respect to the entire team, I think this is one of the strongest teams that KKR is fielding. With the Pat Cummins in their side and Andre Russell, Sunil Narine, Nitish Rana in the side. If they click, we have a match-winning team. It's just, I think, one of the rusty. Everyone's come out of no form.
And Mumbai power, basically Mumbai power.
Cummins, I think, is a key. Pat Cummins was bought at 12 crores, if I'm not mistaken, right? And expecting to come out and blow the wins out of everyone. But Cummins batted brilliantly. We all saw that. 33 of nothing. but
Hey, I'm lost.
kind of used to bowling on Australian pitches. Sorry, you're saying something, Mahesh?
Yeah, I just lost you probably, which is an
Network is weird.
Yeah, so I think if Cummins gets his act right with the ball, the same team will look like a very different side.
true.
Delnar says again, Nareen bats well once in a while. Do you think if they had used an actual opener, they can get to a better start? He is only a pinch hitter. Although he's my favorite all-rounder, we needed to see what's best for a team as a whole. In the CPL matches also, towards the end, he was dropped. If you guys don't mind, I'd like to answer that. I think Nareen has been figured out by the fast bowlers. I think they've kind of understood that if you bowl into his body at slightly short of good length, he can't get you away very easily. Having said that, on his day, he can win you the match. So if he's playing in the team, I would much rather have him open the batting, and rather than coming later down where I don't expect him to do much.
I quite agree with you, Deepak. Narayan has become quite predictable, I would say. I mean, he has a very limited number of shots, which he has, and the bowlers have worked on it, the teams have worked on him, and they know a way to get him out. So probably that's the reason Narayan is. We need to change our strategy and probably have a better opener coming up.
But do you think Narayan fits into the team purely as a bowler?
Oh yes, oh yes.
Definitely.
Where his bowling is concerned, he still is a mystery to quite an extent. He still has.
Then for me, I would have him bat at the top, because if I'm going to replace him with somebody else who can bat better and bowl better, it's a different story. If I have him in the team, having him come 7 down is a complete waste for me. If he gets you those quick runs, he's not going to waste time. He's not going to play,
That he does.
20 balls for 2 runs, right?
For a 2020
He's either
game,
going
like,
to get out of the first over or second over. Yeah, so he'll go either ways, which he could do later down the order also. So my thought is, upfront is the best way to play it.
Let's wait and watch. It's just one match away, so let's wait. Let's see what happens today also.
Next game was Kings 11 Punjab versus the Royal Challengers Bangalore. RCB going back to what it does best, lose the game.
As I wrote, Deepu, the Butterfingers got a licking from the Punjab 11. Like the amount of catches being dropped, and a guy like Virat Kohli dropping 2 catches, like was shocking. And whose catch, like KL Rahul, who just took away everything away from them from the match. Even I think on that match, KL Rahul broke the world record by any Indian scoring the fastest 2,000. So,
And the highest score by an Indian in IPL.
so I think
Phenomenal
They-
night for KL Rahul.
they always say catches win matches. So, yeah, that day I don't know what happened to them. I mean, they just thought they won the tournament or something after the first match. They just came back to the way last season they had started. Like, I was just imagining that RCB is back to what it was. Completely lost my confidence on them.
So while you're trashing Virat Kohli's fielding, ABD dropped a catch which the younger ABD would have probably caught.
Probably. Yeah.
we won't really call that. That was a difficult chance. He still tried his best.
Difficult. That's what I said. Because I said a younger AB de Villiers would have 100% got that ball. But well, that is the beauty of this game of cricket, full of uncertainties.
Well, the game was KL Rahul 132 and RCB 109. So KL
109.
Rahul single-handedly took the game away.
Outscored them. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the last game, which was last night, complete dud. Complete dud. In fact, I didn't even watch the game. So I think that's a game none of us want to talk about, because it's out there for everyone to see that CSK suddenly seemed to just plummet after the way they started. Ankur Pandit, one of our viewers, says, do you think this is going to be Rahul's IPL?
The way he's playing, yes. And I was just looking at the stats. I think Faf du Plessis is number 1 where the scores are concerned. He's at 173. And followed by him is KL Rahul at 153, 20 runs behind him, which I'm sure he's going to catch up.
But Faf has played one game more. Faf has
Yeah,
played 3 games.
yeah, correct. And this guy's played just 2 games. Correct. You're right, Deepak. So actually, it's KL Rahul who should be topping the charts.
On average, he's higher.
Yeah.
Tiku, your thoughts? KL Rahul top batsman this year?
Yes, definitely he can. He can be the top batsman. He is
One
in
of the
good
most
form.
likely, most
He's always been. He's always played IPL well, and he's looking good.
Stylish guy, stylish bat. He knows his shots, copybook style. Like, he doesn't play some rash and unorthodox shots. He's like, he's a good bat.
And the added captaincy, like he's the captain of the team, so that's added responsibility. So I'm sure he'll take it forward.
Correct.
So while we are on KL Rahul, let's introduce a new segment this week. We call it the Player of the Week. And to present it to you guys, we have an exciting young boy, all of just 10 years old, the youngest member of the 12th man team from Mumbai, Rudransh Das, who will present to you the Player of the Week. Hey, Rudy, how are you doing? We can't hear you. Just check your audio,
Yeah,
Rudy.
I'm fine.
Excellent. You want to present the Player of the Week to us?
So it was KL Rahul. Obviously, we saw in the last 2 games how he was smashing the ball out of the park and getting through one of the best fielders in the world, Virat Kohli. I think he had a bigger responsibility as being a captain of the team and playing the match. He didn't do very well in the first match against Delhi Capitals. He got some 30 runs, 29 runs. So to come back again and playing an opposition like RCB, who I think at that point of the game was on top on table, it took a lot of gut to hit at least some highest run by an Indian batsman. And I think that if the way KL Rahul is batting, he might turn out to get the orange cap for KXIP, or might as well just get the cup home.
Excellent. Thank you, Rudy. Any thoughts on your bowler for the week?
Kagiso Rabada, he has not changed much. Every year he picks up one of the most leading wicket takers, but yes, he has a lot of responsibility. He took the super over and getting out a lot of key batsmen, and it's too much for a very young South African player. So yeah, I think he can get the purple cap, which right now he does have.
Wonderful, Rudy. And congratulations on your debut for 12th Man. We look forward to you joining us every weekend, every Saturday with your Player of the Week.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Take care, Rudy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
What amazes me, Deepak, he's a 10-year-old guy, and the kind of cricketing sense he has, it's absolutely amazing. Fantastic.
We
Good to
thought being
see this.
expert was for guys above 45 only.
It's good to see the younger boys looking at cricket too, because a lot of them have gone to football now. So,
Yeah, they're either playing football or they're playing cricket on PlayStation.
yeah.
Well,
That's a good
moving
change.
on to the week that is coming up, we have a game tonight where we can see our man in purple. No prizes for guessing whom he's supporting. We have KKR versus
Sunrisers High.
tonight, right? I'll go first. I think KKR.
I mean, yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Obviously,
You wouldn't choose anyone else.
yeah, I wouldn't choose anyone else.
Pinku?
KKR. I'll also go with KKR this time.
Yeah, I have a feeling
They've been hurt bad. They've been hurt bad in the last game. They'll come back stronger.
well,
They'll play
hopefully.
with pride. Hopefully, yes.
Hopefully. Tomorrow is a big game. Two of the teams that have looked very sharp till now. We have Rajasthan Royals versus Kings 11 Punjab tomorrow. And
Mhm.
the beauty is that the game is at Sharjah, which is the smaller ground. So tomorrow is going to be a run feast.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see KL Rahul versus Sanju Samson.
Tough game on the cards. But Punjab, the Punjabi flavor will be there tomorrow too in Sharjah. Balle balle hone wali kal.
Well, Rajputana is also not far behind, bro.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
But
when are Stokes and Butler joining the team?
Stokes is, I think, still in New Zealand, holidaying with the family.
Butler's
And-
quarantine is over, right?
Butler, I think another 2 games he should be out. He's in Dubai right now, but another 2 games, I guess.
Okay.
Once these two join, I think RR will become really team to beat. Team to beat.
On paper, they will probably be the strongest team.
Yes.
Day after, on Monday, we have Royal Challengers Bangalore versus Mumbai Indians.
Yes.
Your-
That's in Dubai.
Mumbai. Definitely Mumbai.
What is RCB missing? Why are we so confident of them not winning any of these games?
I think
Over
again
time,
too much
Okay.
dependence on the top order. Their middle order just doesn't perform. Their
But they-
dependence on the top is a bit too much.
But they have a very strong batting lineup.
They have, but it's just not performing. It's not like on paper.
I mean-
KKR also has a fantastic team. They just, the way they lost.
But you know what? If you have 4 batsmen at the top who are amongst the top 15 in the world, then at some point of time you need to take responsibility and click. And they've been failing since all of last season. So maybe they need to do a Havan or something. I don't know, because apart from losing their cool on the field and losing their cool on comments of commentators, they need to get their cricketing act together too.
Yeah, I still remember the first match in which they won, where they had this youngster called Devdutt playing for them. He played with utmost confidence, and I just do not know what happened with him. The next match, that consistency has to be there.
One-
Are they making Zampa play this match or something? Has he joined the team?
he
That was
hasn't
there.
played.
Sitting on the side.
Yeah.
I guess it's that the 4-player foreign player rule that kind of puts them into a dilemma to drop.
They should give him a chance. Yeah. For them, Josh Philippe not performing is again so much of expectation from this guy.
Josh Philippe has got Parthiv Patel out of the team, and we've seen that guy perform well in IPL year after year for every franchise that he's played.
KKR,
It's a little sad to see Parthiv Patel not getting a chance, and Philippe. But Philippe is young, and we've heard so many good things about him that he seems to be a match winner just by himself. But only time will tell. We just need to wait and watch. And I'm sure Kohli will do something to get his act together. It's about time. A season and a half would be a little too much for Kohli to take, personally also.
true.
We have Nishank Gujjar who says, what's your take on the Gavaskar controversy? A cheeky jibe or a genuine comment? Nishank, I think we'll stay away from controversy. Cheeky jibe, genuine comment, up to Virat and Gavaskar to speak to each other and figure it out and sort it out as men. I'm sure they will. They're all sportsmen. Gavaskar's a legend. Kohli is already a legend, even though he's so much younger. And I think they both have a mature head on their shoulders. They should figure it out and let bygones be bygones. It's too immature a topic for us to discuss here or for it to be blown out of proportion than it already has been. I think a lot has been spoken and done. We leave it up to the two people involved to decide what is to be done.
There would just be one statement I would like to pass on this, Deepak. It's a learning experience for the people who are actually commentating on platforms, on a higher platform. So it's best everybody should know how to react, overreact. It's a learning experience for a lot of people. Even for people who are watching, that they should know how to interpret a message or a comment or something like that. I'm not taking sides, I'm not making any comment, but I'm just saying it's a learning experience for both sides. That's it.
True. Then, on that note, I would also like to say that people should listen to what is being said and listen to what is being said, not
True.
listen to what they want to hear to.
Fair
Because
enough.
it's one person who tweeted, and the whole world just kind of I think each to his own. Not everything needs to be
It was an
spoken.
unnecessary thing that happened. Unnecessary thing. Wasn't
Yeah, I
worthwhile.
don't think everybody needs to talk about everything. It's
Yeah.
become a habit for people to jump onto their social media and But yes, that's not topic for another day on another platform. Let's stick.
Why? Let's move on.
Where were we? We were speaking about
Bangalore versus Mumbai. Next is Capitals versus Hyderabad in Abu
DC
Dhabi.
versus DC is the team to beat. They have shown what they can do.
Yes. Yeah,
At the
clearly emerging the top.
Two
at the
wins,
top
top
of
of the table already. Looks like a very good team.
True.
Ideal top four. The best of top four Indian youngsters are there with them. Shikhar Dhawan is not a youngster, but he's again one of the top batters. So
Absolutely.
they have a team. They have a team to beat. And even
And
the
the
bowlers, even the bowlers are fantastic. They were the best spinners. Ashwin wasn't playing, and Mishra came in, and Mishra bowled so well. So
Harshal Patel.
Yeah, they're spoiled for choice when it comes to bowlers.
that's quite a choice. They've got too many spinners, and all of them are really good. Akshar Patel, Ashwin, Mishra, fantastic team, fantastic bowling.
True.
Okay. Then the game after that is RR versus KKR. Before we get into this game, we have Arun Panikar here, who has sent us a message saying the most important question for KKR: should the England captain could be called the current beat for T20s, and he's recently won the World Cup as well. Should Owen Morgan lead the team instead of Dinesh Karthik, who has given 2 seasons but could not prove himself? Mahesh, your
Point
thoughts?
to ponder. Point to ponder. It's too early to change a captain at this moment, but this thing should be considered because he did prove himself and he did give the World Cup to England. So I'm sure he must be having his ideas and his way of running a team. So he should be considered and discussed. And if the management feels yes, that can be considered.
Tinku, your thoughts? Change the captain in the middle of a tournament?
No, not in the middle of the tournament. I'm sure. Dinesh Karthik is also a very experienced guy, and he's been around since a long time. So changing the middle, I don't think is the right way. And again, like you're saying, there are about 7 Indian players who are going to play in the team, and just 4 foreigners. The Indian guy will connect better with the Indian team, Indian guys. And just the first game, we can't really tell. We can't really tell that Dinesh Karthik is no good just because of one game.
I'm also certain that
The team flopped. It wasn't that Dinesh Karthik flopped. The all-round team flopped.
what Arun says that they
I've lost Deepak.
Deepak is not there. Deepak's connection is lost.
No, I'll continue with what Deepak was trying to say. Deepak was trying to say that it was not Dinesh Karthik who's to be blamed. It was the team, as what you said. But there's something called captaincy, which plays a role. The person who's leading the team, the changes, with the bowling, with the fielding. There are a lot of things which does happen. And personally, I have never found Dinesh Karthik to be a captain material. He's a great bat. He's a great person. He's a great team member to be in the team. But I've never been so impressed with his captaincy things. I just personally feel that.
But I still feel he's experienced enough, and I think he should bounce back. We'll see the difference in today's game itself.
Let's hope for the best.
I'm pretty confident. He should.
That's Rajasthan Royals, and sorry, that was the match we were talking about was KKR and
Yeah.
Rajasthan Royals, right?
Yeah. The next is on 1st of October, Mumbai versus Punjab.
Yeah. What's your say, Baji?
A difficult choice, a real difficult choice.
And your heart and your mind.
I'm a Punjabi and I'm a Mumbaite too. So it's a difficult choice. Both are very good teams. Again, I don't know what my heart should support, what my brain should support. I'll just say let the better team win that. Whoever plays better. I vote the loser if either one loses or either one wins. I'll be happy with both of them, winning or losing, whatever.
But suppose you have to pick one. Which one will you pick?
Sardar, Punjab.
Valle, valle. Welcome back, Ibu.
Yes, mate. Sorry, my internet was giving me some issues. So I saw you guys already spoke about the last game that will be played before we come back next Saturday. So that pretty much brings us to the end of the games. Now, coming back to something we spoke about a little earlier, wicketkeeper batsman who we think can replace Mahendra Singh Dhoni in the limited overs format here on. We have the likes of Rishabh Pant, we have the likes of Sanju Samson, we have the likes of KL Rahul, who can do what Dravid used to do, not a full-time wicketkeeper, but can fill in those shoes, right? But we all know it's not something Dravid really liked doing. I mean, for a batsman of that caliber, it is a very difficult task to keep for 50 overs and then bat expecting, the big runs for the team. So it really brings us down to Sanju Samson versus Rishabh Pant. Am I missing anyone else?
Wriddhiman Saha for the test matches.
Okay, yeah.
Like
so I'm talking purely about the limited overs. Wriddhiman Saha is a no-brainer. I would think that we don't have a replacement for Wriddhiman Saha in the test match category yet. And we don't need a replacement. He's fairly young. He can play for the next few years for India. So test match is out. I'm pretty sure we should not touch Wriddhiman Saha there. The limited overs.
I feel as of now it's going to be KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant. So Sanju Samson has been tried a few times, and unfortunately, with the kind of talent he hasn't really converted the chances he were given. Pant, as we are seeing in the IPL, he's doing much better. He's been responsible in both the games he's played so far. Like, he's not just gone for those big hits. He's playing to the occasion. He's taking his singles and twos, and when he gets the loose balls, he's whacking them also. And KL Rahul, as I said, like, he's somebody like Dravid. So I don't think so. I don't think KL Rahul and I don't know why KL Rahul and Pant can't be in the same team. They surely can be in the same team too, with KL Rahul just opening and Pant being a number 6 or a number 7, depending on the team composition.
That is, I mean, KL Rahul doesn't need to keep to get us to get him into the side. But what you just said about Pant, I have a slightly different point of view. Pant has played 2 innings of about 30, 25, 30 or whatever he scored in those 2 games. But it's been a very labored innings. He hasn't been hitting the ball cleanly. You can see it's against his nature to try and, stick around. It's not something that happens naturally. Sanju Samson, the way he batted in that one game, I think, took my breath away. Absolutely. You're right about the fact that Sanju Samson got chances, but I think even Rishabh Pant has been tried fairly long enough. What I really, for India's sake, hope is that one of these 2 guys really, sits down and puts it into his head that he needs to be responsible, needs to control his temperament. When he's wearing the India cap, he needs to play a lot more responsibly. Whether it's a Sanju, because Sanju Samson also has a very bad temper. We saw that when he played for India and he kind of lost weight. These guys need to get a good head on their shoulders. And if Dhoni can pass on anything to these cricketers, should be some amount of coolness from his head.
Ibu, my views on the 3 players you were talking about, I think the person who has an edge at this moment is KL Rahul. KL Rahul seems a very mature guy. His temperament, his batting, his keeping. But the guy with a raw talent is Rishabh Pant. He can actually, on his good day, he can take any team. But I feel if you compare to last year, Deepu, I think somebody has been tutoring him, somebody has been mentoring him. I have seen a remarkable change in his temperament this year, which Tinku was pointing out very correctly. And then you talk about Samson. Samson is, again, difficult choice. Sheer talent. Sheer talent.
Well, I honestly hope I'm wrong about Pant because I feel from Instagram what I've seen is he spent a lot of time with Suresh Raina training during the lockdown, right? It seems to me that he is trying to be mature, but it's not something that comes to him naturally or easily. He still goes cross-batted. He's still he needs to pull up his socks ASAP.
Well, that's his natural instinct, I feel. The way he strokes, that's his natural instinct. It's not too easy. Like, but you could never change a Virender Sehwag. You could never change a Virender Sehwag till till the time he retired. But
No, but
True.
this
Virender
game
Sehwag,
is trying to change. He's still trying to
Virender
change.
Sehwag
For
did not play 1 in 50 innings. No, Virender Sehwag was Virender Sehwag because he went out and in 80% of the games he scored. Right, Rishabh Pant he can be destructive, but currently what he's doing is self-destruct. So that needs to change. I
But
mean,
this season he started off well, Deepak. This season we have no complaints against him.
I feel
Yeah, so far
very
he's done a
laboured.
decent job.
I mean, if you see his strokes even in the game that was played yesterday or the day before, the fluency is missing. It's a very laborious innings, and he's for his sake, I hope he puts his head down and he gets his act together. Because if he does, like you said, he's got talent. There's no doubt on that, right? And as an Indian supporter, we can't ask for anything better. So fingers crossed. Let's see. One of these two youngsters really needs to pull up their act, get it together, and come out playing for India.
Deepak, I would like to say in yesterday's game, like the pitch was a very different one. It wasn't easy for stroke play, right? And you could see that when CSK was batting. Had Rishabh Pant gone for a rash shot and got out, you would be telling again he's played an irresponsible shot. Rather, he sticked around and he had a healthy striker, I think around 140.
You're still not getting what I'm saying.
It wasn't that bad.
You're not getting what I'm saying. I'm not saying he didn't stick around. But what I'm saying is that while he's there, he's not looking at ease, is what I'm saying.
Because of a extra
When I'm-
responsibility he's playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I'm seeing him bat, I'm not getting the confidence that this guy will play for the next 10 overs and pull your team out. That
Okay,
is
let
not-
me put it this way, Deepak. Let me put it this way. Let's do it amongst us. Like out of these three guys, KL Rahul, Samson, and Pant, let's connect next week on this and we take a stock on this. What's your take on this things? Who do
KL
you
Rahul.
think for KL Rahul?
Number one
Deepak?
scorer will be Rahul.
Undoubtedly. I have zero doubts about that.
Yeah.
And to me, let's make this prediction. Between these three, my prediction is at the end of the tournament, Rahul on top in terms of runs. Second, Samson. Third, Pant.
I'll say second Pant and third Samson.
I
Mahesh,
would go with things.
you think? Okay. So 10th November, we see which of these three. I mean, KL Rahul, like, no doubt in my mind. He's a class apart.
Undoubtedly, he's the man form. He's performing really well. Touch wood.
He's a
I hope-
batsman turned wicketkeeper. He's a
Correct.
batsman turned wicketkeeper.
Yeah, he's not a wicket keeper turned batsman.
One last question, or rather, question from Delnas Panikar says Murli Vijay, who was the highest scoring batsman in UAE in 2014, they won the CSK trophy and was the man of the match in the finals. His 127 of 56 ball has been the highest scores in IPL, and his 95 runs final score as well. Do you think he should be given another chance? Raidu coming in instead of Gaikwad. Raidu is injured, so I think Raidu, the moment he's fit, will walk back into the team.
Automatic choice. Yeah.
Absolutely. Murli Vijay of 2014, to me, Murli Vijay of 2020 is a pale shadow of what he was. He was one of the better openers we had even in the Indian cricket team, but doesn't inspire confidence anymore. Like someone said earlier, I think Anand Mehtani from Philippines said that CSK is an aged team. I think, to me, Murli Vijay is a little over the hill. I hope he comes out and surprises all of us, but as of now, I think his time is over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever he's written, that the scores which the person just mentioned, it's 2014. 6 years is a long time for a career in for a 2020 format. So yes, I mean, he's just a shadow, as you said correctly. He's not performing. I'll be surprised too if he comes up and surprises us.
Yeah, I'll be happy. I mean, it's always good to see someone who was glorious in the past to come out and shine again. Great. So that should be it, guys. We go off air now. Get ready for the game in 45 minutes. 40 minutes, a little under 40 minutes actually.
Perfect.
One word for all MSD fans out there. We make our cricketers our gods very easily, and we pull them down from the pedestal equally fast. Don't do that to Dhoni. He's given Indian cricket way too much for us to trash him. I don't think we even qualify to talk about the guy, right? So,
Absolutely.
if he's doing something, I would still say he knows what he's doing. Give him the benefit of the doubt. And if he doesn't win, it's okay. He doesn't have to win everything he touches, man.
That's right.
Have a good game, guys. We will connect soon. If we find something midweek, we'll pull up another show, or we will meet again on the coming Saturday. Till then,
Perfect.
stay tuned, guys. Send us your thoughts, your love. We need a lot of it. And we will see you again next Saturday. Cheers. Till then.
Weekend, Saturday, Sunday, weekend. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy the fun. Enjoy cricket and whatever you like.
Yeah, guys, and don't forget taking your safety norms, social distancing, wearing masks when you go out. Make sure you keep that all in mind. And yes, enjoy your IPL. Have fun.
Ciao.
Cheers.